what do you make of all of this? It's quite confusing, the situation in the US at the moment, where you've got some 30-odd states that are going in the wrong direction when it comes to coronavirus, yet the employment figures, those jobs figures that we just reported, are much better than what was expected.
Yeah, those job numbers really look like they're a V-shaped recovery, don't they? To think that economists thought there might be 2.9 million jobs, up comes 4.8. And of course, this is the conundrum that the Yanks are confronting right now. Wall Street is loving the economic comeback and seems to be ignoring the spike in infections. Though I've got to say, the Dow was up a lot higher before the news about Florida getting 10,000 infections in one day. That took a bit of steam off the stock market. But in all reality, at this point in time, Wall Street is actually betting that there will be possibly 2 vaccines before the US election November 3. That was a Bloomberg report earlier this week, Pete.
What, trials or an actual vaccine?
Actual vaccine.
Okay.
And Goldman Sachs health conference last week, the executives there basically said they believe that will be the case. And you wouldn't be surprised to learn that the White House is putting a lot of pressure on the FDA, that's the Federal Drugs Administration, to actually, expedite the kind of processes that are normally holding back the arrival of major new medicines. So, Donald Trump sees this as a very important milestone for him and try and get re-elected. The economic numbers are great, and if they come up with a vaccine, Wall Street will even go a lot higher.
Yeah.
So,
I have got a trepidation over this because people have said this before. There's going to be a vaccine. There's going to be a vaccine, and then there's a speed bump. It might not be for a while, and that sort of dovetails into that fluctuating market, doesn't it? We've kind of had these false dawns before.
Yeah, without a doubt. But as I say, I wrote a piece earlier this week showing there was 10 good reasons for the market to go off, and it kept going up despite the rise in infection numbers, which I think is a critical factor. But this is the report that probably trumped my view on the market, that if vaccines are a lot closer than what we expect, well, then the market will love it and they'll lap it up, and there will be a V-shaped recovery if a vaccine comes along. But, it's all guesswork. And at the moment, the optimists, the bulls are winning, the bears are losing.
OK, well, how are you feeling about our economy this week, Pete?
Pretty good news, Pete. When you look at the numbers, consumer confidence did come down a bit, but that was related to the Victorian revelations around infections. If you look at things like manufacturing has now got into the expansion period. If you look at the thing called the PMI, when it goes over 50, it means that the sector is actually expanding. We saw that happen. We saw also that car imports fell something like 47% in May, but I reckon that's going to be a prelude to the fact that lots of car buying will be bought, because if you can't travel overseas and you're thinking, well, I'm living in Sydney, I'm going to the Gold Coast at Christmas time, I'll upgrade my car. And I think that's going to be a positive for the local economy going forward.
Hey, I tell you what, I keep talking to Tom Petrovsky about this, Afterpay. Pete, what's your view of this? It just keeps surging to these new highs. It must be an irritant, a constant irritant for those investors who don't have it.
Without a doubt. Look, I don't have it, and I actually taught Anthony Eisen, the founder of the damn thing. And look, I could believe the $50 figure, but since Tencent, that's that major Chinese company that's like Facebook and all that sort of social media sort of stuff. Since they've bought in, it's just gone ballistic. And look, it doesn't seem rhyme nor reason, but it's creeping higher up the index, which means that fund managers have to buy a bigger proportion of their funds or have exposure to Afterpay. It's unbelievable, and I really hope it doesn't turn tail and fall, because a lot of people will get hurt if it does.